Hey guys, what's up? Today we are going to do this unboxing of a lens which I've ordered, and it came from Hong Kong, from eGlobal Central. It finally has arrived, so let's go ahead and take the stuff out of the box. So guys, it's the TOKINA 14-20 F2 ATX 14-20 F2 Pro DX lens, and I was waiting for this lens for a very long time. Just to guys quickly show you the packaging. It's cardboard packaging, top is blue, and then you have on the side it says ATX Pro DX for digital SLR. So it's a Canon fit. Now I'm going to show you right now. I'm filming on the Sigma 30mm f1.4. This is slightly hefty lens, but I wanted the f2 so that it's got a wider aperture, and it's very wide, so it's 14mm. So if I go anything lower than 14, it'll be very difficult to find that sort of lens. Guys, let's go ahead and open the box. So TOKINA lenses are made in Japan. That's the manual as well, which comes with the box. And I'm not really going to go through the manual, but it does give a lot of information. So if you guys are ordering it, you can always check that out. The reason I've ordered this lens is that after doing my research, it was very hard to find a lens which had a very high aperture, but a very a decent lens which would give me a good wide angle as well. And I've just removed the carton from the top, and so this is the lens. And here we go, guys. Wow, now that is big. That is really big, and that's really heavy. I'm not really entirely sure that you can use this for vlogging, but my main purpose is not for vlogging. I'm going to use this for like my indoor videos which I make. I use the 30mm f1.4 I just told you from Sigma, but I'll be using this TOKINA going on. But it's really heavy. I think it's like 700 grams or something like that, so nearly 1 kilogram. So nothing else in the box, so let me just keep that on the side. What I'm going to do is I am basically going to compare my Sigma lens with this lens. So on the top you have the lens, the cover, then you have this massive lens hood. It's so big, seriously it's too big. I think I'm just going to take it off. Yeah, so it basically goes on the other side. I'm sure that this is good for photography. This lens is excellent for night photography, but in terms, yes, it's quite massive. And then the autofocus and manual focus has this sort of clutch. So if you want to do an autofocus, you just push it forward, and manual focus is backwards. But yeah, then that is autofocus, and yeah, so that's how it is. That's the Canon fit on one end, as you can see the red mark, and just close that. So I'm just going to put that back on again, just to show you guys. So in terms of the build quality and the material, it's quite solid. It doesn't feel very plasticky or something like that. It's got the serial number over here, and then it has some details which tells you how, on what zoom is it on. So you got 14 to 20 millimeters. So 20 millimeters is fine, but 40 millimeters is quite wide. And then you have this golden ring. It seems to be some sort of metal, but I'm not sure if it's metal. But yeah, so this is the unboxing. This is the lens, and it's a very good choice if you are a starting out YouTuber. It's not the most cheapest lens. It's roughly £500 for this lens, but I've heard that the video quality is very good, and I'm just going to use it for indoors. This is not recommended that you put it on your DSLR and you go out and vlog. I would rather recommend you to use something which is a prime lens. This is more of a zoom lens, which I needed to make some product reviews. So I'm just going to compare it as with my other lens of my Canon. So guys, just to give you a little bit of perspective, so this is a Canon 18-55mm EFS lens, and this is like super light, and I used to think that this is like massively big, but as compared to that, for if you just want 4mm down and you want f2 aperture, then this is the only choice in the market, I'm afraid. But this lens has got other qualities, like if you want to do some night photography or low light photography, then definitely this lens is a beauty. But in terms of its size, you can see that this is like really small, and but the aperture is I think it's 4.5 is the aperture. So, and it's 18-55, which is a good kit lens for the Canon, but it's extremely light. But this is like, you know, it's it's got lots packed inside it. You can just look at the front of the lens. I'm just gonna open that up, and then you can see the difference. So that is the, I say, there's a massive difference between the two lenses. You can see that this one is like really big, and then that one's really, really small. So yeah, so this was sort of my quick video for the Tokina 14-20 F2 lens as compared to the Canon kit lens 18-55. And if you are planning to do some product reviews, or if you want that zoom facility with that F2 aperture, then definitely this is a good lens. I'm just going to swap this lens and just going to show you in perspective how sharp and how well this performs. So guys, just to give you a perspective, lighting is the same, aperture is f2, so this lens got a f2 aperture, and right now I am shooting with the Tokina 14-20 f2 lens, and you can see, now you can even see the sides of the table, so I have to like really move the either the camera down, or I have to basically change the sort of the 20mm side. So this is on 20mm right now, and this is 14mm, and the 20mm and between 14mm there is not much of a difference, but I feel that the weight of the lens is too much. So that is the Sigma 30mm f1.4, and that is the, as compared to the kit lens. So this is all right. It's a bit heavy, but it's not too heavy. It's f1.4. It's a prime lens, and it's a really good lens. I do most of my videos on this 30mm. Right now it's very hard to find the 30mm. You'll find the 35mm, but yeah, I bought it in early days. It's the art lens from Sigma, and this is how it compares, but it's still quite heavy. And yeah, but I think that the Tokina is a very good lens, but the problem is, as you can see, then it just gets too far. So it's good if you want that sort of flexibility, if you want to do, you know, make your videos on a 20mm, or you want to go up to say 14mm. So that's the only flexibility you'll have in the Tokina in f2.0. So guys, just to give you a little bit more perspective, right now I'm shooting with a kit lens. As you can see, the aperture is I've tried to drop the aperture as much as I can. I'm shooting at 25 frames per second, 1/50th of a shutter speed, but in perspective you need a lot of light. It's gone very dark, the video. That is why you need a lens like Sigma, which you can run at 100 ISO, and you can open up the aperture, and really does a good job, because I've already have very strong lighting. And as you can see, as compared to the Sigma, the lens is so massive. And I'll just show you the 16-55. So that is the 16, and that is the 55 if I zoom in. And in general, it's a good kit lens if you're you know, doing your videos in the day, or if you're shooting in the day. But yeah, for YouTube, I really don't think that this is a very good option. But I got it for of course the aperture is like super big, and I really wanted it. So guys, this was my video, and yeah, so that's it. So I'm just going to switch on to the Sigma, and then shoot the video from there. Perfect guys, so right now I'm shooting with my Sigma 30mm, and you can see that I'm on f2.0 with my Sigma, and I have an ISO of 100. Light, I've moved the light a little bit because I had to, because of the Canon kit lens. I was shooting with the Canon kit lens, but in perspective I've shown you all the three lenses. Now it's your decision which one you want to work with, but I think it's a very good option if you need that f2 and you need that 14-20. But do remember, it's a massive lens. I mean, you wouldn't be vlogging on this lens, whereas this lens, it won't let in more light. So Sigma is a very good option at the moment. So if you are planning to get any of the lenses, and I would rather suggest you to get the Sigma, a prime lens, and then you could take it from there. Alright guys, thanks for watching my video, and I hope you enjoyed it. give it a thumbs up, and questions welcome, and catch you in the next video. Bye for now, guys.